For many, wildlife photography is a second career that trades a warm and friendly office for a lonely photo blind. In this edition of Mark Godfrey Selects, Laura Crawford Williams, a professional wildlife photographer who makes her home on the prairies of South Dakota, will tell us her path to that second career and why she does what she does.
Originally, my education is in scientific and medical illustration. I began working for a software company doing medical animation, and I loved it. It was a fantastic time. But within 6 years, the company sold, and I was left with a lot of time on my hands. I was about 32 years old, and I was given a gift, in a sense. I was able to decide if I wanted to take my life another direction, if I wanted to do something different. I took a job in New York City half of the month doing different things for a software company. But when I was home the other part of the month, I did a lot of walking with my dogs, took my camera with me. We had a tall grass prairie that we had recently restored. Did most of my first photography really taking pictures of flowers and insects and different things within the prairie. I loved doing the prairie photography. I loved doing the macro photography. But there came a point where I really became more attracted to the wildlife, not only to its beauty, not only to the connection that you feel when you're in the field with different wildlife, but also for the challenge of the type of photography to actually have the patience to stay there and get those special moments, the behaviors, the different parts of the cycle of each individual animal's life. I really got fascinated and obsessive with making a better picture. So I started looking for other photographers that I admired. In the beginning, I just traveled with other professionals and learned from what they had to teach me. One of the first places I went was the Pribilof Islands, and it was a beautiful place with wonderful wildlife that was very easy to approach and get close to. It was wonderful practice for learning all the different kinds of techniques for shooting. And slowly, as I did more and more of these trips, I taught myself to be better at the photography. One of the most important things to me, the welfare of the animal, comes far before getting the picture. And I do that in a number of ways. I do that by using long lenses. I do that by introducing blinds slowly so that I can get closer to the animal without them being disturbed or having their natural behavior changed in any way. To get that natural behavior to no longer have an influence on changing their behavior in any way is by far the most important thing to me when I'm trying to get images that aren't just portraits but portray behavior and give the viewer a sense of emotion, because I really think those are the images that people connect with. I think that the method I use to insert myself into the world of other animals, to get close to them, benefits me because I don't affect their natural behavior. I don't affect what they would normally be doing, and I'm very lucky to be able to get those more natural behaviors. For me, I often call it layers. If an image has multiple layers, if you have a red-tailed hawk in a tree, it's a nice photo. If you have a red-tailed hawk in a tree in winter with frost, it's a little bit better. If you have a red-tailed hawk in a tree in winter with frost holding a snake, it's even better. The more layers that the image has, the better the image really is, and the more of the story it really tells. As I've traveled and through the different places that I've gone and the things that I've learned, I've begun to feel like there's a bigger purpose, a larger purpose than myself for doing this photography. We all know that photography inspires, it influences people. My goal is to create photographic stories that can change the fate of threatened or endangered animals or ecosystems. And I know I take pictures, but I hope that I can give back by enhancing the public's opinion, awareness, and understanding with those stories.